Welcome back to Black Clover Anime Review, episode number 108. 97. Reviewing the 155th episode of the anime, which also referred to as page 155, The Five Spirit Guardians, and the 274th chapter of the manga, The Battle Begins. Now, this episode takes from an actual page from one of the chapters during the actual current arc itself. This episode has the first full appearances of 3 of the Spirit Guardians who had not made their debut yet. Previously, you have Undyne, who's the Water Guardian, Gaju, who's basically the Lightning Guardian. Now, we also see the debut of the Wind, Earth, Plant. Yeah, these 3 Guardians right here. The Wind Guardian, now, it was mentioned basically about what's going on with why does you know? Basically, because you're training us. Oh, fine. So, basically, everybody is there. All the candidates are there. For the Black Bulls, we have Asta, Nero, Noel, Fenrir, Magna, Luck, and Charmy's there too. Because you heard about the delicious food, she basically has kind of become Queen Lirberga's pet. I thought that was so hilarious, the fact that somehow she got to the kingdom. It's never actually explained, just randomly shows up. We also have Leopold from the Crimson Lion Kings, and we also have 2 Magic Knight captains here: Charlotte, who's the captain of the Blue Rose Knights, and Rel, captain of the Aqua Deer. Though, yeah, there's actually one other person. Yeah, from the Golden Dawn, they only sent one person, Mimosa. That's it. Yep, and everybody's broken up to teams of who trains with who. Now, who does Asa train with? Asa trains with Gajo. Yes, along with Luck. Originally, Magna was sent to basically train with the Fire Guardian, but he requested to train with Luck. There's actually a bit of canon stuff here in the episode. Now, as for in the case of Noelle, she and Nero train with the Queen herself and Undyne. Okay, perfectly fine. What about everybody else? Well, the Wind Guardian gets Fenrir. Alright. The Earth Guardian gets Charlotte and Mimosa. Makes kind of some sense. Even though I think that the Plant Guardian would make a little more sense for them to train with because they use plant magic. But nope, they're training with the Earth Guardian for some reason. And Rail gets to train with the Plant Guardian. Now, one of the things they're trying to teach him is teach him natural mana for mana words. Okay? And apparently, get this, there's maybe 3 people who get this down pretty easily, and that's Luck, Rail, and Charmy. Yes, these 3 get it down, no problem at all. Magna just tries and he just gives up. He does the same thing in the manga too, so this whole scene basically of Asta mentioning about the fact with her powers, and this portion of this scene here is pulled directly from the manga. I don't remember what chapter it's from. I know it's from the current arc. This is from one of the flashbacks. Now, the stuff that happens next, after this brief scene they pull directly from the manga, they don't tap the rest of it, just tap a little bit of it. So, they mentioned basically that after a certain period of time, after they get a little bit stronger with each Guardian, they have to switch Guardians up. Okay, perfectly fine. And why is Asa training with Ganjo? Just to basically test out his ability. Okay. Now, in the case of the Queen, she and Undyne wanted basically Noelle and Nero to train them personally so they could personally take out Magicana. And they mentioned her host, Vanika. Yes, this is kind of in a way her first appearance in the anime. Kind of. It's mostly in silhouette. They're actually probably make an appearance a bit later when they finally start adapting this arc. Yep. And in the case, we'll go with Fenrir, he's trained with the Wind Guardians. A couple brief scenes where he gets to kind of understand exactly what he's supposed to do. He's actually redirecting the attacks right back at the Wind Guardian. And it's a pretty simple thing. It's not really fully developed. I would say the most interesting one I've seen so far of all these is probably Leopold with the Fire Guardian. Yeah, because Leopold basically gets us down. Now, it doesn't do the manga words thing, But at least he actually is understanding the fact that he needs to train, he needs to basically get to train and improve, and the fact that the Fire Guard sees that Leopold has got potential. And he shows 8% of his power by doing a fire tornado spiral. That's pretty much what he does. And he's quite impressed. I like the interaction between these two of them. Now, I personally can't wait to hear what Austin Hill basically when he gets this episode, when he gets this in the dub, which I don't think they got this far yet. No, I think the first they've gotten to it is with episode 141. They're actually about 14 episodes behind in the dub. It's going to take them a while to get this one. Well, that's how it is when it comes to releasing dub. I haven't checked it, but I think 140. I think it's either 141 or 142 is the most recent episode they released dubbed. Now, and we do see briefly at the end of the episode that Yami is there. Of course, Charlotte's wondering why isn't Yami here. Yami is apparently near some volcanic region, and he's just communicating with Fenrir. There's also a brief flashback of him thinking about Fenice. And that's simply it. It's mostly just a lot of setup and just the start of their training regiment. I think in the case of Charlotte and Moza, this is also quite an interesting one, where basically the Earth Guardian shows off her ability, and Charlotte easily points out, though, her ability is very similar to Soul's. Though she went, oh yeah, one of my subordinates basically got similar power to you, but yours is clearly stronger. Which calls mind the question, why didn't you bring Soul with you, Charlotte? You clearly could. And yet you didn't. I would think you would, but you didn't. Especially since you just received a freaking promotion. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised though if somehow Charlotte later on this particular original arc that she would basically have her show up in this particular arc itself. I wouldn't be surprised about that. But they're probably gonna be switching up Guardians basically throughout this whole arc. But this is the start of the arc that basically was announced a while ago, where the writer were working very closely with Studio Para on this particular arc. Yes, the training arc that we've been eagerly anticipating for quite some time, and it's finally starting. And all this episode is just a start, and it's the start of the 4th season of the anime. It's a good episode nonetheless. Now moving on to news chapter manga, the battle begins. Starts out basically all the warriors coming out and says, oh yeah, everybody's here, wearing all the winter garb because, well, it's winter there. So basically, for going to ask the obvious question, where's Asta? He's going to take a little longer. And Jack like, no, it's kind of anyways. Asta's not coming. Yep, and I see that, well, 3 members of the Iron Midnight Center here. Sally, the Necromancer, and I don't remember the other guy's name. I know he's voiced by Chris Guerrero in the anime, in the English dub. Oh yeah, and apparently Sally is wearing an outfit that apparently her sleeves are a little too long for her coat. I'm not really sure why. Also, Mixa is back. Yes, a character who only made an appearance in 1 episode. It was actually, I believe, the most recent episode they released dubbed, and that was his first appearance. And here, we have a character who was an original character, and yet here he is in the manga. So, in case you're curious though, that episode featuring Sally, wow, okay. It's great to see this character again. It's like, okay. So, and of course for Gohan basically, it's not for Gohan, I think it's actually the guy from Jack the Ripper Squad. And he's basically one of like, display lenient power. So Jack the Ripper has no idea what he's doing here. We're gonna get serious about it. We know you don't have much English skills. Sacrifice of basically people who are right. Say what? Lost making time? He'll definitely show up. Except I'm going to end it all before he arrives. Yep. So, either. And then he unleashes Shadow Magic, Shadow Corridor, which takes him directly to, well, the Spade Kingdom. And we see the leader, one of the members of the Dark Triad. I don't remember the guy's name. He's one of the. This is the same guy Luck basically saw back at the start of the end of the previous arc of the manga. I don't remember the guy's name. I know Vanika is the woman. I don't remember the name of the other two. So, the guy is basically watching outside, and I'm thinking it's cold, and he's got the window open. Why? And then apparently the rebels and the Space King basically shows up. Says, "List of Dark Triad, basically 17 years ago, you killed our king, our Lord Lentz, and made our comrades." Basically, they're openly defying him. And then, of course, well, the Vice Captain Squad basically arrives in the Space Kingdom. They're basically in the palace. Like, so they're saying we're undercover in Space. When you're on country speaking, you've been in contact with resistance since you left our country. Yes, I hadn't actually intended to get involved with your resistance. But I watch your abilities. Better cooperate. So the determination of that meeting. Yep, so they look like they're trying to attack, and then all of a sudden the Dark Triad releases a monster on the resistance. That's a legendary ancient demon. And a face over power. Instead of adventurous are meaningless and everything. Your plan used to even exterminate people who stand in the castle. You're not citizens of Space Kingdom. That title is reserved for us, the strong. Ritual combat to begin. Yeah, and of course they see that apparently something's going on outside. Here's, and then of course the creature is basically. Then we see some mysterious person, basically, just going a one-punch style right to the face, and it's Meliona. She's like, "Impressive, Howling, resistance members. I, Meliona Vermilion, Clever Kingdom Royal, will lend you a hand." Wow, and apparently she's given herself a haircut. And it's only been 6 months, but wow, great to see her again. It's been a while since she appeared in the manga, but yeah. Yeah, it's not expected she would do that, but kudos. Love it. Give this chapter a 10 out of 10. Fantastic chapter. Purely because of that awesome ending. I'm thinking that when was the last time she actually showed up in the series? I mean, that's not the original stuff. In the canon stuff, I think it was actually during the... I'm trying to think, oh yeah, during the actual reincarnation arc. That was the last time she appeared. Yeah, though part of her alpha was destroyed. Yep. But it's great to see her again. Yep. I would not be surprised though if she developed I heard that she's developed an interest in Asta. I wouldn't be surprised if it's something beyond like mentorship. Yes. I wouldn't be surprised because Melio is hot. And I know in the English dub she's voiced by Monica Rio. She does an excellent job voicing her. Yeah, she's only appeared like, well, aside from like, she's appeared like a few episodes of the Emerald stuff, and that's been pretty much it. Yeah, she has appeared for quite some time in the anime. Nope, but Nero still appears. She actually appeared in today's episode, which she didn't do very much, aside from the fact that her little training regimen with the Queen. Yep, but not much else to say about these 2 episodes. Like, 155, good start to this season and the arc. This chapter is just purely awesome, to say the least. Yep. Though surprising though, this first chapter in a little while where Asta does not make an appearance. He's mentioned a couple times, but no appearance by him. He says, oh yeah, I hope it'll be done before he gets there. Yeah, you want Asta miss all the action. Who knows how this will roll out when it comes to the next show. It comes out Sunday, but I'll review it next week. Okay, so that's it for Cycle Review, and that's it for videos today because I don't have time to do the OVA, which I was hoping to do. So tomorrow, the only videos probably will do is probably Trendy 7 videos. Probably about 2 at least, and maybe a comic corner. Maybe. Okay? See you next video. Bye.